My name is Mr. Emrah. In 50 minutes, we won't do too much, so that's why I prepared the Kahoot, so that it's better to teach through Kahoot, right? So that you can just have fun. And Angelina wants to win this Kahoot, right? Okay, let's move on and let's go over what this is. I'll be teaching the Sunday sessions of 301, and then Mr. Burridge, Dr. Burridge, is going to be teaching the Monday classes. I haven't ever seen him, but then I think he's the Texas coach for the previous year. All right, moving on. 301 is if you have in AMC 815 plus, then you are in the level of CM301, and during the summertime or winter, you'll be taking level 1 classes along with some 401 folks. Okay, so it's always confusing to me what these levels are, but then 301, and then it's just level 1 is what it is during summer or winter. And well, I don't know these parts as well. Let's learn it together. Class details can be found online. Just go to contest math and then choose in person, and you can just click on it and then see what is being taught in this class. But then I will just go over it briefly in a short time. So these classes that I teach, the hybrid session, on Sunday 5 to 7. So there will be some students if you're just getting the class at 5 to 7. I'll be teaching that in a classroom in Momentum Learning, and there will be some people also in class, in-person people as well. And then on Sunday 3 to 5, this is going to be totally online. But then because I cannot teleport here, then I will have to just teach this class also in Momentum. Goodbye coffee. So I usually like to prepare my coffee at home, but then I won't be able to have that. Hopefully this time, I just mentioned that to Miss Nan. She said that she will have some coffee there ready for me. Yep, I'm just hopeful about this semester, All right, and then Dr. Burridge is session 3. It's gonna be also an online class only. So most probably he's gonna be teaching from home. So that's nice. Okay, and you will just click go to momentum.org Canvas. And then that's where you will find the class recordings every week. Every class will be recorded. So if you're talking in the class, so that's recorded, So whatever you say, just be careful. So some people might be watching. I don't know why some people watches this, but they do. Okay. If you did not understand the topic very well, then you can come back here and then just watch the class again. I would suggest you to take notes during the class time and not waste your another 2 hours. But it's up to you, of course. And if you miss any class, okay, then that's helpful. And I would just come and watch the recording actually. And then there will be homework every week. The homework is gonna be here. You'll just click on it and then enter your answers there. It will be automatically graded. So there's the system. You need to enter some certain answers there. If you just enter an answer that the system doesn't like, your answer will be wrong. And there will be also TA session. Where you can do your homework, and then if you did not understand some of the problems of the homework, then you on Friday 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time, you can just join to these TA sessions and ask them, ask the person who's answering the questions there to go over to your homework questions. Okay. Friday 7 to 8 p.m. I just take a note somewhere. All right. I will just move on. And then there's the class description. Okay, and then what will be covered. Usually we will be covering number theory, algebra 1 topics in the fall semester, and then spring semester, geometry and permutation, combination, probability, that kind of stuff. And it's going to be 2-hour sessions every week, and then 1-hour TA session. And then your prerequisite is I guess you already know your prerequisite because you already registered, right? And maximum class size, it says 22. Okay, I didn't know that. I think I had a lot larger classes than that before. Okay, let's move on. And the topics are roughly these topics that are being taught. And office hours. Okay, there is office hours. I don't know what these are. It's not gonna be me, but then if you want to just go sign in for any class, like then you can go Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. Central Time. If you want to just stop by to Momentum Learning. And Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 4, they're open. You can just call, you may want to call them like in advance, like before you go there. All right, thank you. Okay, that's the, do you have any questions before we start the Kahoot? All right, the first question is, type an answer, evaluate 9 plus 8 times 7 minus 6. You have 30 seconds for this question. Only 6 people are playing, so I think, are there more than 6? The game pin is at the bottom if you want to sign in. All right, so 8 times 7 is what? 56, right? Plus 9 minus 6, you'll get 59. Let's see the top 5. Okay, top 5 here. Calvin got the first place, Angela, Stanley, Angelina, and Talon is following. Moving on to the next problem. Ready? Do you want me to go over this problem? I hope not. Okay, the next one is express the decimal, express the square root of 17.54 as a decimal to the nearest 10th. What squared is this? Angela is like, there's my calculator. All right, all of you answered, and then one person got it right. You gotta have like 1 decimal point, right? And the square root of 1764 is 42. Some people memorizes those kind of stuff. But if you don't, then you need to try. But then the square root of a 2 decimal place number is gonna be just 1 decimal place, because 4 times 2 times 4.2 times 4.2 is gonna give you that. Only one person got it, and that person is Talon. Okay. First place now, but we still have some more questions to go. We don't necessarily finish them all, but then we have at most 20 questions. Moving on to the next one. Ready? Let me make this like bigger. The third question is, if f of x is x to the 4th plus 1, then what is the value of f of 11? It's an algebra question evaluating a function. And the faster you answer, the more points you get, but no pressure. If the input is 11 in this function, what would you get as an output? You have 10 more seconds to go. Eleven to the power of 4 is 1 less than that, 14,641. Who knows how to multiply by 11? The trick. Out of the 6 people who answered, 5 of you got it right. Good job, guys. So just multiplying by 11 is easy, right? So let me just have a OneNote so I can write on the screen. All right, so let's make this bigger, and then let's add a new page, and then close this, and let's zoom in a little bit. So what's 11 times 11? So you just take the 1's digit, right? Add the 2 digits, and then take the last digit. And then if I want to multiply this by 11, take this digit, right? 1, and then take these 2 digits sum, 3, to these 2 digits sum, 3, and then 1. And then multiplying this one by 11 will give me like 11 to the power of 4, 1, 4, 6, 4, and then 1, multiplying by 11 trick, right? And then the function is basically x to the 11 to the 4th plus 1. So you just gotta add 1 to this, don't forget that. And then you'll get the correct answer like this. So let's go back to who answered the fastest, like Angela, like moved up, Tiffany, Angelina, and Calvin is the place, and then somebody's on fire. All right, moving on to the next one. Ready? Okay, the next question is the fourth one. How many positive integers less than 400 are divisible by 4 and 6? So what kind of numbers are multiples of 4 and 6 at the same time? Find how many you have there, that kind of numbers less than 400. Last 10 seconds. All right, I guess I need to go over this one. Only 5 answers so far. And how many correct? Only 1 correct. Okay. Well, 33 was the correct answer. How would you answer such a question? Well, easy. Less than 400, right? So the highest number that I can go to is like 399. But then the numbers that are multiples of 4 and 6. So they're multiples of what? What's the least common multiple of 4 and 6? What's the LCM of 4 and 6? 12. Awesome. All right, so I need to find how many multiples of 12 are there, like less than or equal to 399. All right, so 399 divided by 12. And then if you do that division, you'll get 33. The quotient will give you how many numbers less than or equal to 399 that are multiples of 12 there are. So you just like need to divide 399 by 12 and then round it down, the floor function, right? So that's going to give you 33. I think that's the best way of showing the solution here. Divide 399 by 12 and then round it down. Okay, nobody cares about like the remainder and stuff here. Just like need to take your quotient. Your quotient tells you how many multiples of 12 there are. All right, moving on to the next one. And Talon just made it in the first place, just like opening the gap, right? Like making the gap. So now who's gonna be the second place is the question. But we have many different types of problems. So let's see what's gonna happen next. And the fifth problem is, what's the greatest common divisor of 120 and 168? And you have only 30 seconds for this question. What is the greatest number that can divide 120 and 168? Oh no, it's already time. Well, anybody who answered it got it right. 3 people only. Well, that's 24 times 5, right? And then this one is 24 times 7. So they're both like multiples of 24, and 24 is the largest number that can divide them. You can, if you did this like mentally, I think it was easier to do. And what would be, you'll just learn this later in this course though. But then here's another deal that you can actually deal with. 168, 120, right? 168 and 120. All right. So that's going to be just 24. What is the difference of these two? 48, right? All right. So let me just go there and then do something there. How would I answer this in the shortest time? So I can do this mentally, right? I can just think that they're multiples of 24 both. Like that's one way of doing it. But then if I cannot see it, can I make the numbers smaller? You can always make the numbers small. If you find like greatest common factor of both numbers, greatest GCF or GCD, it's the same thing. But if you want to find greatest common factor of two numbers, then you can actually reduce this problem to smaller numbers. GCF of two numbers is the same as GCF of like one number, and then like you can just subtract a multiple of one from the other. Okay, you can take the differences, you can add them up, you can add any multiple of one to the other. So if I take away 120 from 168, what would I get? Then I'll get 48, right? I can actually do it. I mean, I can actually take out like 120 from 168. Still, I'll get the same greatest common factor. As a matter of fact, I can go one further step here and then take away all the 48s possible from 120. And then if I take away two 48s from 120, take away 96, it's going to be 24 and 48. And I can take away all the 24s possible. Like I can just take away two 24s from 48, and then I'll just get a 0. And the greatest common factor of any number and 0 is that number. Okay, because 0 is a multiple of anything. But then 24 is highest factor of 24 is 24. So in the end, this will be just 24. You can go by like reducing them. Of course, you can prime factorize them and then do it the regular way, but I don't think you'll just do that in 30 seconds. And I think it would be a lot of pressure to do it in 30 seconds. The easiest way would be like mentally, if you can just think of, okay, 24 is what's the difference? 48. Oh, okay, so these are both like multiples of 24. If you can think of it, yes. But then this is called the Euclidean method. Like you can just make the number smaller. You can take away one from the other or multiple of one from the other. Okay, so multiples of 48, take away 96, and then 24 and 48, take away all the possible 24s, well, you get to 0. Once you get to 0, you're done. Okay, you just like get your answer. 24 and 0, the greatest common factor is the larger number. And we will go over this like when we go over the least common multiple and greatest common factor in class, but then 3 people already got it. Good job. All right, and Tiffany gets closer to Talon, and Angela, Calvin, Allison are following. The next question is, solve for x. It's an exponential equation. 2 to the power of 132 is equal to 16 to the power of x. Then what is x? All right, 6 answers already. Oh no, I forgot to change the answer on this. Okay, no. Actually, 33 is correct, right? All right. Wasn't it the same answer on the previous one? Maybe it was the same answer. Okay, so should I go over this one? Anybody who answered it got it right, I think, right? Is there anyone who wants me to go over this one? This 2 to the power of 132, that's 2 to the power of 4x. 4x equals 132, so divide both sides by 4, and you'll get 33. But who answered it faster? Calvin and Angelina answered it faster, got more points, and we are moving on to the next problem. What is the sum of the first 59 positive integers? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus all the way up to 59. What is it? Just come on, add them up. You just want 50 seconds. Triangular numbers, right? If you know the formula, and you'll get it right in 30 seconds, but then you have another extra 30 seconds here in this problem. I could have just given 30 seconds for it. Last 15 seconds. And already 6 answers. I don't know who's the 7th person. Like there were, I think 6 people signed up. Maybe there are 7. I don't know. So many excuses not to sign up to Kahoot. I don't know why you're scared of it. All right, and then out of that 6, 5 of you got it right. So they knew their triangular number formula. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus all the way up to n is n times n plus 1 over 2, right? So then if n is 59. In that case, I would have 59 times 60 divided by 2. So you'll just multiply 59 by 3. That's 50 times 5 times 3 is 15. So 150. 3 times 9 is 27. So 177, right? And I put a 0 there because of that 30 0. Right. Moving on. In the top 5 is Talon, Tiffany, Calvin, Angela, and Allison. And moving on to the next. Compute the remainder when the base number 176 base 9 is divided by 8. What would be that remainder? And then you have 50 seconds remaining. You might actually, I gave you a lot of time that you can actually convert it to base 10 and then divide by 8. Or if you know your modular arithmetic, and that will help you better. Last 15 seconds. This is a topic that we will go over like this semester as well. All right, 3 people got it right. Well done. How did you guys do it? Give me a hint. Come on. 176 base 9, right? So the question is basically asking you 179 base 9 is congruent to what in modulo 8? You don't know modulo 8, but then that's the best way of expressing this thing. Like in the future, once you learn the modulo 8, then or you can just convert. How many of you converted to base 10 and then divided by 8? Did you guys do it that way? Okay, the ones who did it that way. I think if I knew like modulo 8 means like you divide by 8 and then you just take the remainder. But then, for example, if I have numbers like a plus b plus c, let's say, then in that case, I can replace these numbers by their modulo 8 congruence. Okay, if I divide them by 8, what would I get as a remainder? I can do that at all steps so that I can just solve this problem in an easier way. Okay, I'm just going to solve it that way. Anybody can convert this to base 10 and then divide it by 8. Okay, that's the longer way of doing it. And honestly, if I gave you 30 seconds, you would hardly be able to do that. But then what is this? Like the places are the ones place, nines place, and then 9 squareds place, right? In base 10, the place values go by powers of 10. Ones place, tens place, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, right? Those are just 10 to the power of 0, 10 to the power of 1, 10 to the power of 2, 10 to the power of 3. Likewise, in base 9, the place values, and then is this last digit? What is this last digit? Is it a 6? I think it's a 6. Did I copy this question right? I don't think so. All right, so that doesn't make sense. Okay, let me just go back there and then show media. All right, 176 base 9. All right, because I cannot have a 9 as a base 9 digit. So let's go there again. So if I just expand this thing, it's going to be 9 squared times 1, right? Plus 7 times 9, plus 6 times 1. Now, here's the deal. I can actually replace these numbers by their modulo 8 congruence. What is 9 in modulo 8? Can you guys tell me? If I divide 9 by 8, what's the remainder? 9 divided by 8 will give me a remainder of what? If I divide 9 by 8, I'll get a remainder of 1, right? So that is, so 9 is congruent to 1 in modulo 8. So I can actually replace those 9s by just 1s. Okay, so that's 1 squared. So that's going to be congruent to 1 squared plus 7 times, instead of 9, I can put a 1 plus 6. Okay, and then that's mod 8. And then I can just do that at all steps. What's 1 plus 7 plus 6? That's going to be 8 plus 6. And I can take out that 8 because if I divide 8 plus 6 by 8, then 6 will be the remainder, mod 8. So if you know your modular arithmetic, then you can answer this question in a very, very short time. Okay, so you can replace all of these numbers with modulo 8 congruence. They're going to be smaller and smaller, and then you just bam, get the right answer. When I explain this, it actually sounds longer than doing it. All right. We will also go over modular arithmetic as one of our last topics for the fall semester. Moving on to the next question. What is the area of a triangle with vertices 0, 0, 9, 12, and -3, 28? And you have 50 seconds remaining for this. Finding the areas of triangle area formulas are important. And then some of them are like finding the regular triangle area, finding the area of a right triangle, finding the area of equilateral triangle, right? Isosceles triangle. And Heron's formula maybe, right? But then on this one, which one would I use if the three coordinates are given? I would use shoelace theorem, right? This Pick's theorem. It's like lots of theorems for different situations. I think shoelace is the way to go for this. I wouldn't have time to draw this triangle. All right, nobody got it. Bad job. Okay. Nobody knows shoelace theorem then. Okay, what are those coordinates? Let's see. 0, 0, right? Okay, maybe I should just put it on the side so I can see those coordinates along with this. All right, so I would have 0, 0. You just write those coordinates. Okay, I'll go over it once, but some people learn it on, like when I go over it only once. So what you do is you just like write your coordinates on top of each other. 0, 0, 9, 12, and then -3, 28. So far, are we good? And then one thing that I should not forget, I should repeat the first point. Whatever I started with, I have to repeat that. For example, if it's a triangle question, I would have 4 coordinates here. Okay, I need to connect that last point to the first one. Otherwise, I wouldn't be completing my polygon. If it's a quadrilateral, let's say, then it will have 4 vertices. Then I would list 5 things. So I'd repeat the first point. If it is a like 9-sided nonagon, and then all the coordinates are given, so then you'd just be listing 10 items there. You gotta repeat the first one. Okay, and then you gotta go in order. But in a triangle, there is no way that you cannot go in order. You cannot go diagonally in a triangle because there is none. Right? So 0, 0, 9, 12, -3, 28, 0, 0. Then why is this method called shoelace? Because when I multiply these diagonally and then I write those products, -36, and then 0 times 28 is 0. That 0, 0 is really helpful. And then 0 times anything is 0. 9 times 28, I think that's the hardest product to do, right? What's 9 times 28? It's 252. And then that's gonna give me another 0. So I'll find a sum here. -36 is the sum here on the side. And then it looks like kind of shoelace, that's why it's called shoelace method. 252. Then to get the area, you just take the positive difference of these two numbers and divide it by 2. The area is gonna be equal to positive difference of these two numbers. All right. And divided by 2. So basically, like I'll be adding 252 and 36, so which will give me 288 divided by 2. It's going to be -288, but absolute value of that, of course. So the answer is going to be 144. You can only get the answer this fast if you know shoelace method. If you try to draw it and then take out the corners and something, like if you want to find like the enclosed rectangle or something, it's going to take a long time. You are not going to be answering that in 1 minute. In order to answer this in 1 minute, you got to use the shoelace method. All right, top 5 did not change. And moving on to the next one. What is the largest possible area of a rectangle with a perimeter of 112? Last 25 seconds. Like what kind of rectangle would maximize its area? When the sides are closest to each other, right? All right, it's almost time. 112. divided by 4, like, because a square would give you the largest area, right? If a rectangle is a square, if you have like some fencing, okay, and then in order to have the maximum area of a fence, like if you have if you want to just enclose a rectangular region, if you make it a square, then that's where you will get your largest area. So if it is possible, you would make that rectangle a square. And then if I make this a square, what is 112 divided by 4? 28, right? So 28 would be one side. 28 squared is 784. So 3 people got it right. Awesome. And then they were already in the top 3. Moving on to the next one. Evaluate 1 minus 3 plus 5 minus 7 plus 9 minus 11. It goes all the way up to 97 minus 99. So how many pairs are there? Each pair adds up to what? And what would be the sum here? We have 40 seconds remaining. Last 8 seconds. Yep, everybody answered out of that 6. And only 2 of you got it right. How many of you put there negative 100? Did you put negative 100? Maybe you did, I don't know. Like, I wish I could have seen the possible answers here. Maybe I should have a setting doing that. Okay, so 1 minus 3 is what? That's a negative 2, right? Then I have plus 5 minus 7, that's another negative 2. And then I have like 9 minus 11, that's another negative 2. And then all the way up to where? All the way up to 97 minus 92. 97 minus 99. So that's another negative 2. See, pairwise, these are all negative 2s. But then the question is, how many negative 2s are there? Well, this first number just goes with 1, and then 5, and then 9 goes 4 by 4, right? I actually just like maybe out of the first 100, I'm just dividing it by 4. But then is it, do I have 24 of them or 25 of them, right? So how many, like if I just highlight these numbers, like think about the first numbers in these like negative 2s in these pairs. 1, 5, 9. There's one with starting with like what? 4 more than that, 13, and goes all the way up to 97. These pairs are. So the first numbers of these pairs are these. How many numbers did I list here? So in order to find the number of terms, like in an arithmetic sequence that goes 4 by 4, we're going to learn it also in the class as well. Last minus first divided by the common difference, right? Plus 1. So that's going to give you the number of terms here. So last is 97 minus 1, 96 divided by 4. And that's 24 plus 1. There are 25 of these. So there are actually 25 pairs in this list. Okay, so 25, and each of them gives you a sum of negative 2. So this entire thing will be then equal to negative 2 times 25. So that's negative 50. Right, and the ones who got it right are Tiffany and Kelvin. All right, so this is very close, right? Still some person might get the first place. Let's see what's gonna happen. If a minus b is 5, a squared minus b squared is 20, then evaluate a cubed plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. Last 30 seconds. This is a mental math question, right? You don't even need to write anything. All right, 5 people answered, and out of that 5, 3 of you got it right. Well, let's do this mentally. What is a squared minus b squared? That's a minus b times a plus b, right? And a minus b is 5. 5 times what is 20? Well, then a plus 4 would be a 4, right? So 20 divided by 5, a plus b is 4. Well, what is this? That's a plus b cubed. That's 4 cubed. 4 cubed is 64. Did you answer it that way? Or did you have to use a paper and pencil? Maybe at the beginning, if you don't know your formulas, then you might actually use paper and pencil, but please memorize your factoring formulas, okay? You gotta factorize this as a plus b times a minus b, which is gonna be 20. And then a minus b is given to you as 5, so you will notice that a plus b is just 4. And that is a plus b cubed. So that's 4 cubed, so 64. All right. First place is now Tiffany. Tiffany, pressure is on you. All right, let's move on to the next. Find the product of GCD and LCM of 36 and 144. 36 and 44. Knowledge is power, you know, and if you know something, this question is a piece of cake for you. But then apparently, like, I don't think you guys know that fact. Last 5 seconds. And it is time. And the thing that you need to know is, all right, 5 people got it right. Awesome. Is the GCD and did you guys find the GCD and LCM of these two numbers? Did you find it? You didn't need to, right? The two numbers product and the GCD and LCM product is going to be the same. Okay, so you guys need to know that two numbers. Okay, there's my pen. Okay, so a times b is going to be of two numbers is LCM of a and b times GCD of a and b. So you did not really need to find the greatest common divisor or LCM in this problem. Just needed to know that the product of these two is just equal to the product of numbers. So all you had to do was multiply 36 by 44 and that's it. Okay, and then you took a lot of time. If you have found the GCD and LCM within this time, kudos. I mean, like, good job, very well. But then you didn't need to. Okay, so if you know like that this product of GCD and LCM is product of the two numbers, you just multiply these two and that's it. All right, 4 people got it right, and we're moving on to the next one. If absolute value of x minus 54 is 36, what are the sum of all possible values of x? And then usually, like, we have 2 answers, or maybe sometimes 1, sometimes none, in absolute value equation. Find all possible solutions. And then add them up. Last 3 seconds, and then already 6 answers here. 7, okay, 7 answers. And we got 4 of you got it right. Awesome. Okay, x minus 54, absolute value of x minus 54 is equal to 36. There are 2 cases here. Either the number inside is indeed positive and it indeed is equal to 36, right? In that case, if you solve for it, add 54 to both sides, you just get 90 as a solution. Or it might be actually negative 36. Maybe x minus 54 is nothing but negative 36. In that case, add 54 to both sides, and you'll get like 18, right? So 54 plus negative 36 will give you 18. So the two solutions are 90 and 18, which adds up to 108. And Talon got his first place one more time. Just lots of competition here in the first place. Calvin is third. Andrew, Angelina is following. Let's move on to the next question. If 1995 is written as the sum of 5 consecutive integers, what is the largest of those integers? And you have only 10 seconds left. This one was a shorter question. You didn't have 1 minute for this. And only 3 people got to get the right. And then out of that, 2 people got it right. So you need to know one thing, right? 5 consecutive integers, right? So let's say x minus 2, then x minus 1, then x plus 1, x plus 2. I can just name them like this, okay? Consecutive means they differ by 1. But then they add up to what? If I add these up, they add up to 1995, right? So, well, you got to know one thing about this. Like if there's an arithmetic sequence of like 5, 7, 11, odd number of numbers, then the middle of these is just the mean of these numbers, okay? That's the mean. You just need to find the mean, like the middle number mentally, okay? You just need to divide it by 5. If I divided 2000 by 5, I would get 400. Well, that's 1 5 missing there, right? So that number is 399, and these are consecutive integers. So the next one is following is like 400, and then 401 is the largest one out of these, and then you'll put the answer. It's like, if you know what you're doing, it's like about a 20-second question at most. All right, so let's move on to the next. And the top 5 order, and Andrew just got the point there, but like somebody else maybe got it right. I don't know, I didn't see the catch the other person. All right, let's move on to the next one. How many natural numbers less than 1000 do not contain the digits 3 or 5? If you would not have any 3 or 5. And then it says natural numbers like less than 1000, so it can be a 2-digit number, even a 1-digit number is okay. See, it's not talking about just 3-digit numbers, it's talking about maybe can be 2-digit or 1-digit number as well. And then what's a natural number? Will I count the 0? That's also another question. And you have 30 seconds left. This is a counting problem, like which we'll learn in the second semester. Five seconds. And 1 person got it right. Wow, okay, awesome. That's impressive if you can get this right. If I did not have any restriction like it, just less than 1000, they're at most 3-digit numbers, right? If I was able to use any digit here, I would have 0 through 9. How many choices would I have? I would have 10 choices, right? I would have 10 choices for each place. However, I cannot do 3 or 5. 3 and 5, just ignore those, okay? So then you would just have 8 choices for each of the digits. So you would have 8 times 8 times 8. You can use, and then 0 is included in there. Like if I have 0, 0, 0, that would be just 0. I can have 0, 0, 1, and then that will be just 1. Okay. So I have like, I will also include the chances where I'll have 0 here. I don't need to exclude them because it doesn't say 3-digit number. It can be a 2-digit or 1-digit. But then it's 512. However, it says natural numbers, right? Natural numbers start from 1, not 0. So you got to exclude the 0. Exclude 0. You cannot have 0 there. Okay, so you'll have 511 natural numbers. If it was saying how many whole numbers, then in that case 512 would be my answer. All right, Talon got it right, so that now he's feeling more comfortable before we go to the next problem. And we're not gonna complete all the 20, actually. I have another class right after this, so I need to go to that class 5 minutes early. First 3 tests were 85, 87, and 92. What score must Kent get on the next test so that his average will be exactly 90? So he will make it a 90, 85, 87, 92, or what he got. And if you want to get exactly 90, no rounding. And then what should his score be on the last test? And you have only 7 seconds left. I gave too little amount of time, right? But then there are 7 people who answered it, and 6 of them got it right. Awesome. So what are these numbers again? And the numbers are, you're not gonna like calculate the sum or anything, okay? So if you're doing that, you're just doing too much. 87, 92, and then there is one more, and then my goal is what? Average has to be 90. The way to answer these questions is, then like you're just gonna check how many, like this is 5 less than the average you want to go for, right? This is 5 less than that, and then this is 3 less than that, and then this number is 2 more, right? This is a +2, this is a -3, and then -5. Overall, you want to get a like 0 difference, right? So that's like a -8, that's a +2. So you want to have 6 more than 90 here. Compare all of them to 90, okay? That's the easier way to go. You don't want to deal with big numbers. Who wants to deal with big numbers in a competition? It's already like stressful and stuff, right? So this is 5 less, 3 less, the overall it's 8 less so far. And then 2 more, so that's like -8 +2, -6. So you need to just make up for that -6. You need to have a 90 + 6 here. Okay, so 90 + 6, so that you would overall like be no different than the average. Okay, so you need a +6 here. So that's gonna be 96. And the top 5 is Talon, Tiffany, Calvin, Andrew, and Angelina, and that will be it for today. I'm not gonna like finish this one. Anna, I don't have any other open houses. I have another class like 500. CM500 after this. I'll be subbing. I'll be like, I'm subbing like on a Sunday. That sucks, right? All right, have a good one, everyone, and I will see you in our classes. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.